Hello friends, welcome to this session. Today I wanted to share my thoughts on why the yang meridians are always longer than its corresponding yin meridian. When I was conducting my classes for the Books to Brain series, I noticed that in all the cases, the yang meridians are longer than the yin meridians. And out of curiosity, I was thinking what could be the reason. And whatever is my findings, I would like to share it with you. So to understand this concept of yin meridian and yang meridian, so first of all, we will have to understand what a meridian is and how the meridian flows within the body. So I want to just give you a very brief introduction about the meridians. To understand that, we will take an analogy of the water flow. Whenever there is a rainfall happens, the water flows in two ways. One is on the surface. The water runs on the surface of the earth, and some of the water seeps into the earth and it flows inside the earth, under the earth. So some of them is flowing inside the earth. So as a total water flow, we can say the water flow is a combination of the surface water flow and the groundwater flow. Similarly, in the human body, the energy flows, the bioenergy flows in a specified path. So that is called as a meridian, and that meridian has two flows, just like the water has two flows on the surface and under the surface. So we will try to understand this concept of the meridian. So if you see, if the top line, if that is the surface of the skin, the meridian flows very close to the surface of the skin. And when the meridian flows very close to the surface of the skin, the acupoints on the meridians are accessible to us for any form of treatment, either through acupressure or puncture. I have taken an example of acupuncture needle over here. So if it is on the surface, through the needle, I will be able to stimulate, either tonify, sedate, any of those kind of treatment can be given to the acupoint. But as the meridians are flowing, at some places the meridian goes deeper into the tissues, into the body, into the organ level, and these points, once the meridian goes into the deeper parts of the body, they are not accessible to us for any form of treatment. So these parts which are available on the surface, okay, is called as primary meridians, and those which go into the deeper parts of the tissues, it is called the divergent meridian. So they are not accessible to us. So both of them are the same meridians, but the divergent part is getting deeper into the body. And there is another meaning for the divergent channel. That is, say the meridian is flowing, and in some specific parts, the energy part, the path gets split. So, and it moves in separate directions for specific reasons. So even in that case, we call it as divergent meridian, and this may be still very close to the surface of the skin, but because it is moving away from the primary channel, it is also called as divergent meridian. So a meridian flow, a meridian consists of primary meridian, which is very close to the surface of the skin, and a divergent meridian, which is generally deeper, flowing deeper in the body. So with this understanding of meridian, if we understand what is yin and yang, out of many ways of describing the yin and yang, this is one way of describing yin and yang. The exterior part is called as yang, and the interior part of any surface or any body is called as yin. Okay? The exterior is called as yang, and the interior part is called as yin. So the general function of the yang is to protect, and the general function of the yin is to nourish. The interiors nourish and the exteriors protect. For example, if you want to have a guard or a watchman to your house, the guard will be outside the house on the perimeters, and someone who is nourishing, a cook who cooks the food, who nourishes, so he will be working inside the house, okay, taking care of the cooking part. Okay. So in this way, the yang is a protector which mainly functions on the outer side, and the yin is the one which functions mainly within the inner parts of the body. So with this, we can understand that yang is outward. So in that way, the yang could be longer. The yin is more towards inner core, and that is why the yin may be lesser. But the yin yang theory says that the yin part and the yang part is equal. The ratio of yang and the ratio of yin is 50-50%, is equal. But when we see the meridians, we don't see that they are equal, they are unequal. Say, or in all the cases, the yang is longer, more than the yin. So how can we justify this fact that the yang is longer than the yin? So this is my thoughts which I wanted to share with you. Let us say, if we take the same example, in this, if we see this red line is a yang meridian. So yang, there is no such thing as an absolute yang and an absolute yin. Okay, always, even if we say it is a yang, there is a yin part within it. There is a seed of yin within the yang, and there is a seed of yang within the yin. So there is no absolute yin or yang. It is always a combination of yin and yang. So with this understanding, if we see, for example, if this red line is a yang meridian, because it is supposed to be a yang, it has to travel on the exterior part. And but because there should be a yin part within that yang, it should also flow in the interior parts of the body. And if we take the yin meridian, if the black line is the yin meridian, predominantly the yin meridian has to flow inside the body, and because there has to be a yang part to the yin, so the yin meridian also has to flow on the outer part, on the surface of the body. Now, as per our understanding of meridians, whenever we consider a meridian, for example, I have taken a heart meridian. So if we see, we study the meridian only that part of the meridian which is accessible to us. So for example, heart meridian flows from heart 1 in the axilla region to heart 9 in the small finger. So this part of the meridian is accessible to us. But actually, the heart meridian flows deeper. Generally, if you see this meridian, you may always get this question. The heart meridian is not touching the heart. Then how would it control the heart? A lungs meridian is not touching the lungs. How would the lungs meridian control the lungs? These kind of questions you may be having, and this is the answer for that. So if we see, the heart meridian is not only this much, but it has a yin part of that which flows inside the deeper part of the body. So if you see that heart meridian is crossing the lungs and heart, and it is going and connecting its heart's paired organ, which is small intestine, and also another divergent meridian is going to the eyes. So if you see this, the portion of the meridian which is flowing within the body is longer than which is flowing on the surface of the body. So in this way, this part is, we can see the major part of the meridian is flowing within the core, the interior part of the body, and a minor part of the meridian is flowing on the surface of the body. So what is the meridians which we can access? Whenever we see the meridian in terms of number of points, it is only the ones which is on the surface, because only those points can be accessed. And if we see this, there is a very short path of the yin meridian which is accessible from outside. But on contrary, if we see a yang meridian, there is a very long surface, a long part of the meridian which is closer to the surface, which is accessible to us, and a shorter part of it which is flowing inside the body, and this part is not accessible. For example, if we see this stomach meridian, so whatever we learn in general is the points which are accessible. The stomach meridian flows, okay, on the front part of the body, say starting from the below the eye, and it flows all the way to the second toe. See? So it is a very long meridian compared to a heart meridian. Okay? So it flows on the outer surface of the body. But if you see the part of the meridian which flows inside the body, it is relatively quite small. So if you see the stomach meridian, there is one divergent meridian which is flowing, connecting the stomach and the spleen, because these are paired organ, and a small part of it flows in the heart area, and there is a small part which covers over here, and a very small part which is covering towards the top of the head. Apart from this, the majority of the meridian flows on the surface of the skin. That is why there are more points on that meridian which is accessible to us. So, but when we see only the points which are accessible to us and don't see what is flowing inside the body, then we will not be able to understand why there is so much of points on the yang meridians only. So with this, we can easily conclude that whatever the yin yang theory which says yin is equal to yang, which can be summarized in this way: the yang is equal to yin in this form. Major part of the meridian is on the exterior part, plus the minor part is on the interior. So whereas when it comes to yin, the major part is in the interior and the minor part is on the exterior. So when you see in this way, we can easily conclude that the yin equals to yang. So this is the reason why the yang meridians are longer than the yin meridians. It is only the accessible part that we are seeing, and that is why this confusion may arise. And also, the purpose of the yang meridian is to protect in general. Apart from the other functions that it has, one of the main functions is to protect the external surface of the body. As I told, a guard will be on the outside of the fort or on office. Okay. So the yang meridians are on the outer part of the body. So basically we can see three main ways: the front, the back, and on the sides. So If you see, the stomach meridian covers the front part of the body. So it is bilateral. So you can imagine the stomach meridian is flowing on both the sides of the front of the body, and it is creating a shield, protective shield. And the UB meridian, it flows mainly on the back side of the body. So it is creating a protective shield on the back side. And the gallbladder meridian, it is creating a protective shield on the sides of the body. So if you see, all the three meridian flows from head to toe. In all the three directions, these yang meridians create a protective shield. So in this way, and when these three meridians cover the torso from head to toe, what is left out is the arms. And the arms is protected by the other three yang meridians: the large intestine, the triple warmer, and the small intestine meridian. So with this, I hope the session was useful and you understood why the yang meridians are longer than the yin meridians. So if you like the video, please do not forget to click the thumbs up button, and also you could subscribe to my channel Krishnamurthy Acupressure in YouTube for getting more interesting videos like this. And if somebody is interested in the Books to Brain series, where we discuss the fundamentals of PCM and try to understand the depths of it, if anybody is interested in those kind of learning and knowledge, they are most welcome to join to the class. Okay? And the fees is just 2,000 rupees for an entire year. Okay? And the classes started in Feb 2021 and will continue up to Feb 2022. Those who join late will get access to all the old recordings. The classes happen on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. And there is a very vibrant, lively sessions, interactive sessions and Q&A sessions happen in the classes. There is more than 80 people who have joined, and in that we have quite a bit, like about 4 medical doctors, a few scientists, many engineers, and many acupressure, acupuncture enthusiasts who have joined the classes. So a lot of very interesting discussions do happen in the classes. So if you want to be a part of that, and if you have that thirst to understand the knowledge, please do join us. And for any further questions, you can contact me on my WhatsApp number, that is 9632317950, and the country code is 91. Okay. So thank you all for listening to my thoughts. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye.